Welcome back, fellow Dream Warriors, to Riderpiece Theater. Me, Alistair Dayhawk, and tonight, me proud to present Kamen Rider Zeztz, episode 14. The last time we saw our beloved Dream Warrior Baku, he got sucked into a wormhole into a distant part of the universe. Well, not really. Not really. Instead of getting sent into a distant part of the universe in Dreamland, he gets sucked into a black hole, into what it looked like to be a piece of his own mind. Because as Baku was getting sucked into a black hole, you see him getting sucked into this door. A mind's door, mind you. And when Baku comes to, he sees Nem in her, damsel in distress dress. The same dress that we saw in the pilot when Baku first saved her. And you would think that, he would get sucked into his spy room. Because remember, his spy room is like the center of his subconsciousness. That's what Zero, the Decepticon, said. But in this case, he got sucked into a strange part of his own mind. You see bubble memories around, and then in the sky, you see the colors representing, the capsiums. Because remember, the capsiums have colors that represent a branch of, dream powers, as we remember, right? And so Baku was like, okay, what the hell am I? And he looks around and he realizes that, could it be possible that I'm inside in my own mind, right? Said that 10 times. I mean, it was a struggle to say that. Remember, this is not scripted. This is coming from my head, my heart, improvising. The only thing I have are notes right now. So he realized that he is he's inside his own head, I guess. And then Zero, the Decepticon, calls in and gives Baku his next mission, which is kill the enemy or destroy the enemy in PG terms. And of course, Baku asks, okay, who is this enemy? Why do I need to kill this said person? But of course, Zero is telling Baku, you know who the enemy I'm talking about here. And this is a mission of, do the mission, no questions asked type of thing. And he hangs up, and Baku is just standing there telling them that I have a new mission, which is killing Nox, and he doesn't give me any answers as to why I need to kill him. But in order to start his own mission to find Nox and to kill him, he needs to escape his own mind in this case. So we go to the next scene, and then all of a sudden we see a little boy. It's raining out, and you see this little boy walking maybe to school. We don't know until we discover that, wait a minute, that's me. So Nem and Baku are reliving Baku's memories. And Nem asks Baku, when was the last time you had a bad dream? Like, the question is, what was your first bad dream? And this is where Baku narrates what happened to him when he was a kid. And he says to Nem, well, it all got started when I was walking to school. It was raining, and then all of a sudden I got struck by lightning, and that's when the bad dreams started to happen. So my question is, knowing about the curse, did he help somebody along the way to school? Or did the curse happen after he got struck by lightning? That's the question that hopefully we'll get answers, but I don't know. I'm just thinking outside of my head here. I'm like, did he help somebody before he got struck? Or did the curse started when after getting struck, along with the bad dreams? Just asking questions here, guys. And so Nem and Baku decided to follow mini Baku. And then we go to the next scene with Minami and Zero, and she's like, hey, my brother is still sleeping beauty here. I can't wake him up. Like, when is he gonna wake up? And Zero, the Decepticon here, says, well, he's on a mission right now, and he won't wake up until he completes his mission. And then it leads to, what a secret agent is and what he or she does. And meanwhile, Minami's just sitting there listening in, and she's just in disbelief on what she is hearing. She's in disbelief that I can't believe Baku is entangled with this talking robot. That he's a secret agent. What the hell is going on? But her only concern right now is her brother's well-being, and rightfully so. But I wouldn't be surprised that at the same time, she is like, well, my brother is comatose. Supposedly he's a secret agent that can invade people's dreams. I have a spy room in my place in my house, in this apartment that I'm renting out. And I have a talking robot telling me what a secret agent does. Can my life get any worse here? Oh, no. I feel bad for Minami, I really do. So we continue with Mini Baku and the memories. And Nem and Baku are reliving Mini Baku's life in cram school. And then all of a sudden we see Mini Baku enter in a special class. Well, we don't know what the special class is, and doesn't really say, because in the subtitles it says special class. I'm like, what is this special class? What is this? And you see all these kids putting on headphones, and they're looking at some screen and whatnot. And then all of a sudden we get this reveal of the teacher who's teaching these kids God knows what, to be Otaka, aka Nox, which causes Baku to be like, wait a minute, what the hell is this? First of all, how come I don't remember any of this? And two, Nox, my teacher? Dun dun dun. And Nem is like, wait, how come you did not know that your teacher was Nox? What the hell? That's what I'm trying to figure out, Nem. I think my memories got erased. Dun, dun, dun. So we go to Zero, and this is just a short scene of him just sitting there, and he just ponders and says, the enemy is, and then we have a transition to Otaka, which apparently he's been asleep for quite a while now. Like, I believe he's somewhere in some hospital, comatose. And yeah, so at least we know where he is, and how come we don't see him walking about, because apparently he's also in Sleeping Beauty mode. And then we go from Otaka to Nox in Dreamland, and he talks to himself about, saying his goodbyes to the dream world. He enters the building, and he ends up fighting this dark spirit that's been taunting him for a bit. And then we go to the next scene with Mulder and Scully. Their search for the lost, former agent is at a standstill because they don't have any information prior to Otaka selling, counterfeit paintings, whatnot. And then all of a sudden, Scully wants to get some lunch because it's 12 p.m. And Mulder is like, no, I'm not hungry. I'll eat during the night, because apparently he eats only one meal a day. And Scully, being concerned of his health, was telling him that you should eat 3 times a day, 7 days a week. It's unhealthy for you to eat only one day a week. So as she goes outside, all of a sudden, it's pitch black. And Scully's like, wait a minute, how can it be pitch black when it's only 12 p.m. in the afternoon? It doesn't make any sense. And then Mulder says, it's a black case, Scully. Oh, he gets all excited too. It's a black case. Let's go and find out what this black case is. Well, it's harder now because, Mulder Scully is no longer working with Baku. But of course, it will happen again either during the Christmas episode or most definitely after. And so we go back to Mini Baku and his adventures in cram school. And he says goodbye to Nox Sensei or Otaka Sensei. And Otaka Sensei tells Mini Baku that he is doing well in school, you're improving, and keep up the good work. And so Mini Baku leaves the classroom, and Nox goes through this door, which apparently I assume leads to his office. And Baku, again, he doesn't recall any of this at all. And he just, he's determined to find answers. So he decides to follow Otaka into his office, but ends up getting transported to the outside and seeing Mini Baku once again in the rain. And so this is where Baku realizes that, okay, my memories, at least some of my memories, are erased here because I don't recall any of this. What the hell is going on? Who erased my memories? And of course, why? So he is very determined to discover the truth, but he knows in order to know the truth, he needs to talk to Nox. But of course, his mission is to kill him. So I think Baku knows that, well, if I need to complete the mission, which I don't know if he will complete the mission because it requires him to kill somebody, he needs to get some answers first, right? It's quite obvious, right? And so he makes his vow to himself that he will discover the truth as to why these memories are missing. And then out of instinct, he takes out a blank capsium and decides to, not throw it, but more like take it to the sky. And all of a sudden, this flash of lightning struck the capsium, and Baku gets a new power. He gets a new capsium called the plasma capsium. How, he just did it. No one told him to just lift the capsium up in the air and let the lightning strike it, and therefore he gets a new power. He just did it out of instinct. He pulled a He-Man. So something tells me that Yuya is a fan of He-Man because in Geats, Ace did the same thing. That's how he obtained his final form. And Baku, in this case, he gets a new form. And for those who've seen the episode, he obtains the power of the Flash. Yep. Plasma Zeztz is pretty much the Flash. Yeah. In any case, after he lifts up, the empty capsium, obtains a new power, he and Nem escape, but not to wake up. Apparently, they both infiltrated somebody else's dream, and you see an empty building where Nox entered in. And speaking of Nox, he comes out of the building. He gets taunted by this dark spirit saying that I'm not afraid, I will wake up. And he looked like he was about to shoot this dark spirit, but then he encounters Baku, and we see Baku transform into Plasma Zeztz, aka the Flash. And then he beats up Nox. And by the end of the match, it looked like he was about to unleash his final attack. I could be wrong. But he put his capsium back on his belt, and then all of a sudden in malfunction, forcing Baku to demorph. Nox gets his first loss, and he is weakened. and Baku just grabs Nox by the collar. He pins him in at this fence, and he demands answers. He asks Nox, hey, what the hell did you do to me? Why did you erase my memories? Like, what's going on here? How come you're my teacher? You know, all these obvious questions, right? And so, what's up with so let me add. Baku demands, what's up with that school that I attended to? What's up with this class? And what did you do to erase those memories of me and you away? Like, why did you do it? What's going on here? Okay. And Nox replies with, I erased the deep darkness. And Baku's like, the deep darkness? Is it Freddy, you son of a bitch? You working for Freddy Krueger? What the hell, man? Of course he didn't say that. I'm improvising here, as you know. Because part of me wants like a Freddy Krueger-ish final boss. Is it gonna happen? I don't know. It's too soon to say, but I want it to happen. I want a Freddy Krueger-ish final boss. But yeah, so the deep darkness, aka Freddy Krueger. Dun dun dun. So as we were waiting to find out what the hell the deep darkness is, we go back to Mulder and Scully. They watch a video of this TikTok video, whatever, and there's like a kids walking, and they lift the camera up to see this giant yellow energy ball, and it disappears, causing the darkness to go away. And this is where Mulder and Scully says, well, mostly Mulder says, okay, we have a case here. Let us find out who did that. And they leave. And then we go to, Minami, and she gets really pissed off. She ends up slapping Zero, the Decepticon, across the face and be like, hey, this mission that you gave to my big brother, do not turn him into a murderer. And Zero responds with, well, it comes with the job. I mean, I'm sorry, being a secret agent, sometimes you have to do missions that require someone to get their hands dirty. It is what it is. Which leaves Minami in distraught, like, I can't believe this talking robot has given my big brother a mission to kill somebody, which, of course, Baku would never do, because all he wants to do is to help people. He's no murderer, of course, but it will come down to, will Baku say no and not kill Nox, or he decides to follow orders and kill him, which leads to, of course, the Christmas episode that's coming up this week. So, yeah, we will see if Nox, quote-unquote, dies, because remember, nobody dies in Kamen Rider. They come right back. So, yeah. So, my cookies are somewhat with Nox, but then again, with Minami knowing everything and that threat that Zero gave her, but I don't think Minami is going to die, or else Baku's going to get really upset. He's going to get berserk. He will hunt down Zero and Code, and it's going to be really, really bad. But at least we could see a team up between him and his former teacher Nox. But, we have to wait and see, right? But in any case, Minami slaps the Decepticon, and we go to the next scene with Baku demanding to know who or what the hell is this deep darkness is that Nox is talking about. And he just whispers in his ear and says, it's Code. Code is the deep darkness, not Freddy Krueger. Sorry. And he tells Baku their supposed plot that supposedly they want to turn people's lives into a big bad dream. And then he leaves the dream world, or a different part of the dream world, by ending the episode with Protect Yourself 7. It's almost as he is telling Baku, like, don't trust anybody within the organization. Well, the only being that Baku knows that's a part of Code is Zero. So don't trust Zero, the Decepticon, Baku. And so, Nox leaves, leaving Nem and Baku especially stunned to hear that supposedly Code, the spy organization that Baku has created in his dreams, is an evil organization. And that's how the episode ends. Guys, I wouldn't be surprised that heading into the second arc, we're gonna have a corrupt organization storyline here, because it just goes back to what I've seen in Saber, where Toma defeated the first final boss and gained the respect of his fellow swordsmen. Then all of a sudden it's discovered that the swordsmen are a part of a secret society ruled by a king. And then you have, the crazy sister who is, telling the other swordsmen that Toma is the enemy. Sure, he killed, the baddie of the first arc, but you cannot trust him. He's still part of the, the enemy of, I forgot who they were, but those three people, and you shouldn't trust him, and blah, 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 blah. So I feel like Arc 2 is all about Code and their corrupt organization, and of course the allegiances will be questioned. And speaking of allegiances, where does Zero's allegiance lie? Is he is he still with Code, knowing that it's corrupt, everything that Nox said is true, or is he a double agent? That could be also a possibility, and I wouldn't be surprised that later we discovered that Zero is a double agent in order to figure out what the hell is going on with Code and how to fix it, and while doing a lot of questionable things. I wouldn't be surprised. And Baku, well, he has a lot of questions, and I'm sure he will want answers from Zero, which I believe he will not give, or maybe have a runaround. But of course, Zero will say, well, you didn't kill Nox, you still haven't completed the mission, so I'm not telling you a damn thing. But in any case, we're heading into Christmas week, and, next week will be the episode where we're going to see who's going to die here. Is it Nox? Is it Minami? Is it Mulder? Is it Nem? Which I highly doubt it's Nem. Which one would it be? So give me your thoughts and opinions about this episode. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? I have notes in front of me, even though I have them, I may have missed a couple of things here and there. Give me your thoughts and opinions of, the new suit. I just think that, it's just Flash in Kamen Rider form. Baku's just Flash. I'm whatever, and supposedly it's going to be a new upgraded form, which I don't care for. But in any case, the story's going along, and the most interesting character for me right now is Zero, because I don't know where he lies in the scale. Is he an Autobot, or is he a Decepticon, or he is something in between, aka a double agent? And Nox makes it sound as if Code is trying to recreate the Matrix here. Like they're living in the Matrix, and they want us, and Code wants us to stay in the Matrix. And Mulder and Scully, well, they're Mulder and Scully. They're not breaking into people's windows. And Minami, you gotta give respects to her. She don't give a crap who she's talking to. She's a brave girl. And she slapped the Autobot across the face, and telling him, do not turn my brother into a murderer. Don't you dare. I have a lot of respect towards her. I really do. But in any case, like I said, next week is Christmas week, so I want to give you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you celebrate this time of year. And I will see you all after Christmas, I guess, and heading into New Year's. So I wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I will see you all on the other side of Oblivion. Johnny.